Thank you for joining. We're going to go over the process on how to add the 2025 to 2026 competencies for TDOT. As you go through your performance document, you start at your Competencies tab. This is the screen that you will see. To add your competencies and the new behaviors associated with each competencies, you will click on the line, the blue line. Next step you're going to do is go down to agency, and this is where you select transportation. Now we're going to identify the employee role. There are 3 different roles. First one is executive. An executive is geared towards executive service employees with direct reports. The second one is individual contributor, which is any employee who's in a preferred service position without direct reports. And third is manager supervisor, which is preferred service employees with direct reports. For this scenario, we're going to select the individual contributor. Now you go to your search button. And below that, under search results, it's going to populate the 3 competencies that were selected for every single role: collaborates, communicates effectively, and customer focus. No matter what employee role you select, all 3 competencies will be the same. So go down to select all. It will check your boxes and click on Save Selected Competency. Okay. Our next step here, which is new to 2025-2026 year, is that we also have to select the behaviors associated with each of those competencies based upon the role of the employee. And as you can see, our new competencies, they have different behaviors based upon this graph and the role that they are in. The 4 behaviors that need to be selected as we move through the performance document for an individual contributor will fall under this column identified as behavior. And we'll walk through the process on how to select those. If you move on to the next page for collaborates, this is the manager supervisor behaviors, the 4 behaviors identified. And the third page also identifies the executive leadership and the behaviors associated with that level. There is different documents, different rating scales for each competency. Okay, so the first one we are going to go to and complete is our competency number 1 for collaborates. Right below that, you have a plus sign to add the behavior. So click on that. It gives you some information at the top where it tells you how to identify the specific behaviors based on the employee role. We must select 4 behaviors for each role. The first one we're going to do, since this position is for an individual contributor, we'll come down here to search, and then right below it, it generates the different behaviors. The key to identifying which behavior or which box you need, 4 boxes that needs to be checked, is the EX, the IC, or the MS. So those are your 4 keys. For an individual contributor, we are going to select the 4 that have IC right in the middle of the identifier. Click, click. Okay. If I was doing a manager or supervisor role, I would select the 4 that have MS in there. Now we go down to add behaviors, and it auto-generates on this page. So those are your 4 behaviors associated with collaborates. Next, you'll move down to the competency 2 and do the exact same thing with communicates effectively. Since this role that I am filling is for an individual contributor, I am selecting the 4 that have IC in the title, and then I will do the same for customer focus. If you accidentally select a wrong behavior, there is a trash can on the far right side that you can hit to remove that behavior and go back in and add the missing one. Once you have completed, you'll continue moving through the performance document, saving your document, and following the next steps to deliver the IPP process. It's very important as well to ensure that you select the right department, the right role, the competency and behaviors for your position. If you do not, please be aware that we are going to have to cancel the document and recreate it. Now, this is only after you've reached that point where you've had the conversation and it is locked from editing. If the document is able to be edited and you still have those little trash can boxes, you can do so before you actually have that conversation with the employee. But be sure that you're selecting all the right key pieces from the start.